I find it rather interesting that this is now the third episode in a row that focuses on a sister relationship. We had Applejack and Applebloom learning to trust each other, then Pinkie and Maud Pie showing the rest of the main six about how strong their bond already is, and now we have Sweetie Belle learning about how much Rarity cares for her. Personally, I don't mind having all these stories one right after another as long as they have something different in mind for each episode. And I have to say that the MLP staff added quite a few creative bits to this story idea. First off, the title is an obvious reference to For Whom the Bell Tolls by Ernest Hemingway. Secondly, we have several scenes which reference A Christmas Carol by Charles Dickens. I think it's rather nice that we get some nods to classic stories, and it shows even more creativity on the part of the writers. Once again, Sweetie Belle is especially anxious in helping Rarity. This has been a staple of Sweetie's character even since Season 1. In fact, the very first scene that showed Rarity was even related to Sweetie Belle involved a desire from her to help out. Although over the years, Rarity has become much more tolerant of Sweetie's efforts. However, this time around, we see Sweetie Belle putting even more pressure on Rarity by springing a project on her the day before it's needed. I'm suddenly reminded of Suited for Success. At first I thought that the writers were just trying to create tension between the sisters, but it turns out that Sweetie Belle really did want to do everything herself, despite the rest of the CMC telling her to get Rarity's help with the dresses weeks ago. It may be a little difficult to relate to what Sweetie Belle is going through, but we've all had moments where we tried to do our very best and someone else's work got all the attention. This is something that Sweetie Belle has had to deal with since a very young age, so I'm glad to see that the writers made her motivations far more clear here, as otherwise the conflict might have felt a bit cliché. And what makes it even better is just how Luna fits into this story. She talks about having a sister who shines more brightly than herself. This is a rather clever move for the writers to have Luna be the one teaching the lesson. It works very nicely for the story's conflict as well as giving us a bit more depth on the relationship between the royal sisters from times past. I mean, just imagine this episode's conflict happening between Celestia and Luna more than 1,000 years ago. Might change a few headcanons here and there, but I'm always glad to be getting more of the ancient history in Equestria. Also, I am loving these dream sequences. Of course, they are an obvious reference to A Christmas Carol, but each and every scene has purpose, and the visuals here are just fantastic. Even for a slice of life episode, the animators are showing some real dedication on how they're improving upon their previous works. But getting back to the references of A Christmas Carol, we get visions of the past, which include a younger and even more adorable Sweetie Belle, so there's some bonus points there. We get visions of the present, where we get to see a bit more of Rarity's inner turmoil. But most interestingly, we get a vision of the future. Now, it's certainly no surprise that Rarity would be going through another mental break if she had been branded as a failure by one of her most well-known customers. Seriously though, every single mental break in this series has always had something to do with a pony's special talent no longer being worthwhile. But what I find most intriguing about this scene is the fact that Luna has the ability to see into the future. This could open up a whole range of possibilities in the show. In fact, I have to wonder if far, far back into the past, it was Luna who dreamed about the return of Nightmare Moon and came up with that prophecy of the mare and the moon in the very first episode. If Luna herself didn't know that she would be the one who would become Nightmare Moon, and then explain that dream to her sister Celestia, oh wow, the possibilities with this are immense. We could very well have gotten an explanation about where this prophecy came from in the first place. But I'm getting off topic here. I should go back to focusing on reviewing this episode. And honestly, I had a lot of fun with it. Not only do we get an engaging conflict that was given proper build-up, not only do we get clever references and some more adorable moments from the CMC, we also get some more hints on the relationship between the royal sisters, and we get a story where Sweetie Belle was the one who learned to be more understanding of Rarity, rather than the other way around back in Sisterhood Social. And on top of that, we get some clever comedic bits as well.
Serves her right! How can you say that? Rarity doesn't deserve that at all! No, Serves Her Right is another one of Sapphire Shore's songs. You seriously didn't know that? Don't you listen to her music? I prefer show tunes.
I suspect that the only part of the episode that might rub people the wrong way would be Sweetie Belle's behavior that created the conflict in the first place. But as for me, I think this works very nicely. Having to live in the shadow of her sister's brilliant talents all her life, wanting to do her part and get some of the attention but always coming up short. I never would have thought to compare Sweetie Belle and Rarity to Luna and Celestia, but it works. It really works. Bravo, Mr. Polsky. You managed to surprise me for the second time this season. In the meantime, though, I would like to hear your thoughts. Given what we know of Sweetie Belle, do you think her actions in this episode fit with her character? Do you think having Luna teaching the lesson shows us any more about the relationship between the royal sisters? Since we now know that Luna can see into the future with her dreams, could there be any connection to the prophecy from the Nightmare Moon arc? What are your favorite moments in this episode? I would like to hear your thoughts on For Whom the Sweetie Belle Tolls, and here's looking forward to the next appearance of Luna when she visits Apple Bloom in a dream. Seriously, she's already helped both Sweetie Belle and Scootaloo, so you know it's going to happen eventually. I am Dr. Wolf, and I look forward to hearing from you.